I don't know. This still doesn't make complete sense. This bolt here. Zoom in, you fucking piece of shit. This bolt here apparently holds the brass piece here. Apparently it holds the brass, this brass here, together with the bottom, that bottom piece of copper plated steel there. But if that's the case, then what's the use of this other bolt here? It goes right directly underneath this side of the brass tab. So underneath here there's one bolt, underneath here is the other one. Start to see from there too, you see. There's one, there's the other one, the other. Fucking. Even so, they complicated this so much. Little fucking connector there. The other one is a lot simpler and a lot sturdier. That one is actually pretty close to my standards. Anyways, I wouldn't want to rely on security of my transmission on this here, that's for sure. There's a lot of repairs I'd have to make on this. Even if I did replace this here, this rivet here, still have the crown and that's corroded there. Right now it's still working fine, but it's this side here, it's broken. It's halfway broken. You can see the crack there. You see there? Break. Once this fucking camera decides to zoom in. There you go. You see the crack there? There you go. You can really see it now. Right there. See? The difference. This side is nice and clean, nice and good. Here it's corroded almost halfway, actually a little past half. So eventually this part here is going to break. I either have to make another one of these or buy one, which is hard to find. Fucking know. If I loosen up this bolt again, loosens up the this piece in the middle here. Yeah, no point. Fuck. I don't know if anybody likes this video, but I certainly wouldn't watch this. This is fucking garbage this year. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this fucking piece of shit. Hopefully, if it's just a simple, contact point like that, and all I have to do is just, I'll get a piece of steel, drill the holes here to connect here. I'll just put a little bolt right in the middle, and even maybe if I really want to make it really nice, I'll just put a spring right in the middle, and then it'll just be on and off, up and down, and on and off. None of this fucking garbage here. This is fucking pathetic, and fucking made of fucking plastic. So I really feel like fucking mashing the fucking hell out of this. I'll get a big fucking hammer. Should I do it or should I not? I should fucking do it. 1, 2. Fuck you, piece of shit. I'll keep it for now. Fuck, maybe somebody likes this fucking garbage. I don't know, just keep it for now. Fucking hate having to do so. But it'll help with the template, because I can use these holes here as a template to drill the new cap, if I have to, new lid. So let's keep it for now. And we'll give it a decent burial. Fucking hammer, and I'll fucking throw the waste fucking broken pieces onto fucking fire. Yeah. I fucking hate it. But the one interesting thing that I might mention, guys, you know, talk about this, we talked about the governor, but let's say everything, all the electrical parts, they all went bad. Would you be stranded on the road? Absolutely not. You'd still have the overdrive, you'd still have the manual transmission. You just have to remember to switch it in and out. That's it. So, I mean, considering modern cars, you know, I hate having to even talk about those fucking bastards. But when it comes to humiliating the fucking pieces of garbage, then I do talk about them. But, you know, they have so many fucking sensors and so much fucking garbage. And, you know, if one of those sensors fails, either the whole transmission is damaged, or, you know, you're stranded on the road, or it's just a fucking big disaster. If these things, if the only purpose of the governor here, the solenoid, the switch here, is just to engage the overdrive automatically for you. That's all it does. If everything goes bad, if all those things break, the only thing that changes is that you'll have to push the switch in and out, you know, by yourself, on your own. You won't have the overdrives and relays to do that for you. So, you know, to be honest, it's not really a big change. The only thing that is dangerous is if you use the overdrive in first gear. When the car is stopped, it requires a great deal of strength, you know, a great deal of torque in order to get it moving. Okay, and if you put it in overdrive in first gear, then all that torque is going to those rollers, right? And so it's going to damage them. That's one point that I have in this overdrive that doesn't make it perfect. If it was me, I would have made those rollers a lot bigger. Those little triangles, those little what are they called? Those little dents that push them in and out. I would have also made them a lot bigger so that you could engage the transmission in first gear or whatever, you know. Well, first gear. It'll work in second gear. You can, because think of it this way, you know. If a car is already moving, you know, it's easy. It's really easy for you to just keep pushing it if it's in a straight road. You don't really require a lot of strength to just keep it moving. But if it's stopped, you know, especially if it's, you know, a little sunk into the mud, then there's a lot more force, a lot more torque required. That's why you can't use the overdrive in first gear. You can't. Okay. Maybe it won't get damaged right away. I'm not sure. Some people do say that if you put it in first gear, it will get damaged right away. But like I said, I'm not sure. But that's the only thing that would change. So let's say all of these contacts, all the governor, you know, this went bad, the solenoid went bad, wires ripped apart, you know, relay is gone. The only thing that would change is pushing this here, like this and like that, by hand. I mean, not here, obviously, because you'd be connected to the cable, which is mechanical. So that's the only thing that would change it, which is honestly is not a big deal. And you just have to remember to disable the overdrive like that when the car is stopped and, you know, you're taking off in first gear. That's the only thing you'd have that you would have to do. Other than that, there's nothing. Transmission works fine. These here, they're just automatic controls. That's all they do. They control things for you instead of you having to use your hands. You know, these they control it for you. But you know, like I said, like I'm saying, you know, it's really a big difference between fucking garbage cars now. You know, sometimes with these fucking modern garbages they make, pieces of crap they make now, all it takes is one sensor, a crankshaft position sensor, something like that, and the car is fucking done, fucking dead. You need to get it towed. You can't fix it yourself. You know, just finding the problems already a fucking nightmare. These here, you know, first of all, they're pretty indestructible, and even if they were to break, or, you know, somebody stole them off you, you know, you still have a fine ride. You still be driving down wherever you wanted to go without any problems at all. Just great, no problems at all. Actually, there's actually some people that they bypass this here, the governor and the solenoid, and they and the relay. They add a switch, just a common, you know, on-off toggle switch. But like I said, I've seen people, they say that they forget to turn the overdrive off. So let's say, okay, they're getting into the highway, they turn the toggle switch on, and which causes the overdrive to turn on, right? But then they park the car, or they get to a red light, and they forget that they're in overdrive, and they try to, you know, try to take off in first gear. The overdrive is still on, and then it damages the overdrive, those little clutch rollers, completely crushes them. Good news is, guys, those clutch rollers, I think they cost like they're about $7 for a set. So if it's just the clutch rollers that are damaged, then you just change them. But they might actually change the that little sort of gear, wedge-shaped gear that they sit on, and that is a little more expensive. Still nothing compared to modern garbages, okay? People usually have to spend thousands of dollars to replace just the seals on a transmission, okay? That piece of gear equipment, you're not even spending $100. I believe they're like $50 for one of them. Right, so they're really not that expensive compared to modern crap. That's why when I say something is expensive here, it's nothing compared to modern junk. Okay? Take that out of your mind. If you're watching these videos and you're thinking, well, these classic transmissions, classic cars, parts are expensive, that's bullshit. They're cheaper. They're lots of times, many times cheaper than the modern garbage they have now. Okay? Especially if you have Japanese or German cars. Holy fuck, those guys really rip you off. Manufacturers now, they purposefully make things complicated and expensive ways so that they have to win. They have a win-win situation anyways. You know, they win on your lack of reliability on your car. Once it breaks down, then you have to buy another car. They win on, you know, labor. You can't fix it yourself. You have to take it to their fucking dealers. They win on the parts. They're really fucking expensive. Okay, they win on everything. These cars, classic cars, there was an intention. There was a design that she would be able to fix them and that they would be reliable for you. Right? They would last for many years. You guys remember how this transmission looked. You can see how it is now. This is the worst that you could get, okay? You couldn't get any worse than this. This thing was literally sitting outside the rain and the weather for you know, how fucking decades. and you know, with water inside. As you can see, all just need a little cleaning. That's all. So for now, since we finished with that, I'll let you know, by the way, if anything changes on the fucking Governor. I'm not sure what I'm doing. If I'm gonna have to make another cap, or if I'll just be able to get away with just buying another one. Maybe I'll just buy the whole solenoid, another manufacturer. That's the thing, right? I've seen another one also for Studebaker, but this part here looked exactly the same. So, you know, if the thread here, the thread size is the same, and the gear here is the same as well. The gear here was actually a little different. I've even seen one for the T-Bird. It was shorter, but apparently, you know, this connector here was the same, and the shaft diameter was the same. So maybe all I'd have to do is just change this gear, right? But I'll see. I'll check that out and see if there are better replacements off of another manufacturer. Let's see if I can get a better one. If not, I'll just have to make one of these caps here. And I'd rather not, but if I have to, I have to. I'll do it, no problem. But I just like to get one that's cast iron here as well. So maybe I get 2 in 1, right? The cast iron and the steel cap. Even if I do make a better cap on this one, I still don't like this material here. I mean, it's... Fuck, I'm just being... Like I said, you know, I'm just really picky when it comes to these things. This will last, you know, 100 years, 500 years, fuck, a million years. I just want something that'll last forever. Lifetime guarantee. Infinity. You know, cast iron is obviously better than this material here. This here is still fucking great, you know. Still great, very thick. But still, I prefer to have a cast iron. So now that we've finished that, I'm going to show you guys how to remove the snap ring in the back. It is very fucking heavy. Oh shit. Bad for any girl mechanics out there. So the way that I do this is I will unfortunately scratch a little bit of the paint. Just remove this bolt here. I'm doing this because I forgot to put the needle bearings in. The way I do this is I'll move the snap ring until it's past, until it goes past the bolt. Why? Because then, I'll show you. Get a washer. The difficulty in removing these snap rings here is that they keep moving around. Try to lift one end instead of it coming out, it moves. So what I do is I put a washer. Let's see, I have to move it off a little bit more. Put this big washer. It's a it's ½ inch. Let's see what the actual diameter of the washer is. I don't know. Fuck. Flat washers. Let's see. They're all made in China. Everything is made in China. I don't know, but let's see that. You do have to tighten it up a little bit, but it fits in there nicely. And then that washer prevents the stops the fucking snap ring from turning. That just makes your job not only a lot easier, but possible. It's probably not possible to remove it without this. See, now that won't move anymore. Get this bolt here out of the way. Now what I will do is I'll get another slide. Be careful that this will fly back at your hands. You want to stab yourself with this, it will hurt. Sort of move this here. There, I'll just move it away from the slot so that it doesn't fall back in. And I'll just move this one down. I can't move it down all the way because although it's cleared off the slot on the top, the bottom here it's still inside the slot. Oh fuck, I got back in the slot now. It's out of the slot. Completely off. There, now it's completely off. So we'll move it down. Ideally, you need 3 hands for this. No, fuck. Sort of like changing a tire. There you go. That on. But there it is. Not completely sure if it'll come out all the way from the front. Just remember, there's like a big washer behind that gear, behind the 3rd gear. I'm not entirely sure. I might have to loosen up the housing bolts in order to twist it out, if you recall, in the previous videos. Let's see. Let's see how far it will come out. Swiggling it from side to side. Try putting it in second gear. Maybe that helps. I wish it came out, but I think it might not come out. Put it back in neutral. I don't know. I don't think it comes out from here. I think I have to loosen up the housing. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, by the way, I did say that this paint takes a long time to dry, but I didn't actually specify how much. It'll take more than a week, okay? Maybe if you're in like a really hot climate, or a place where it's really hot, or I don't know if you can put it in the oven or something, but it does take a long time, over a week. And the way you can tell if the paint is dry enough, what will happen is it'll be dry, but you can feel that it's sort of weak. You can feel that it's weak. It sort of feels like if you run your fingers on it, especially your nails, it'll sort of feel like it's sort of rubbery, right? And that means the paint is not fully cured. But the way you can verify it for sure, just go close to it and smell it. If you feel the smell of paint, that means it's not dry. When it's dry, you won't feel the smell of it. Let's use the hammer here. Remember, I want to separate the adapter here, not the overdrive. I just want to pull the whole thing back so that